Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Heathen Intentions. We're going to go ahead and get some cards out here, see what kind of messages want to come through. I just wanted to talk real quick about these paintings. I was at a show last night, and there was an amazing local artist there, and I picked up these three paintings. And um, this morning, I came in here and I stuck them, in my space. And while I was meditating, the things I was drawn to in these paintings, the images that I seen, um, first of all, these paintings were done beautifully. They're full of good energy. They were very intuitively guided when they made them. I can feel that in them. So shout out to the artists who put their heart and soul into their work. These are my new intuitive paintings. I love that they are like for today's reading, whenever I was tapping into the collective energy, I was getting a lot of pressure that's finally breaking up. A lot of pressure. A lot of things have happened in the last 2 weeks. There's been a lot of shifts. There's been a lot of things happening with the planets. I'm sure, you can Google that, or someone on YouTube did videos about it, the planetary alignments. But for this particular reading, we're using this painting this way. I see this menacing face down here cowering, and I see all of this illusion, all of this fuckery that they're projecting, trying to convince people to feel a type of way about you, to not I I feel like to not like you, to feel that you're a fake when actually it's them. They're the ones that are cowering down here. They're the ones that are pushing all of this narrative. They're the ones that pushing for I don't know what they're pushing for. I don't know what they're looking for. But I love that these paintings, I can scribe with them in a way. If I turn it this way, the image changes. I mean, obviously it looks different, but I see something completely different in it. If I turn it this way, same thing. Something completely different comes to me. I love the way that they speak to me. I love the intention and the intuition that was put into them. I can just feel it radiating off of them. So I find that amazing. Shout out to Andrew. I'm going to have to link him down in the comments. But yeah, for this reading, we're dealing with this menacing energy and the illusion that they've been trying to project out over the past couple weeks. And we have this one. Do you see the energies in this? Like this is you. This is the collective. This is you, right? And this is that illusion that they're pushing towards you, that they're just like a little burst of air. It's having no effect. All of your energies are intermingling. You're coming out of, like I said, the last 2 weeks have been very, very dense. The energies have been very dense. Um, Certainly none of them have been very good energies. And it's like we're all just waiting in this pool of illusions and negative thought patterns and other people's ego and trying to just keep our head above water, stand our own at that time. And this is where we're at now. You have all of your energies. Yeah, they might be a little mixed. All of your energies are feeling a little crazy. You might not feel like you can tap into one single thing, but the effect that it's having has lost its power, right? That density of the last 2 weeks is finally breaking up. And this one, I love this one as well. I love them all. I love them all so much. This one speaks to me. See if I can get it all in there without the glare. In so many ways as well. I see so much imagery, so many signs. I get so many intuitive hits from this painting. You can turn it, which I'm sure I will be in future readings. When I turn it this way, this is like a completely different feel, completely different. This feels like alignment to me. This is feeling like breaking out of that stuck pattern. This is feeling like we're right here in the in between, but our individual vibration, our individual light, by listening to ourselves, because we've grown so much through this ascension, we're actually throwing out the frequency. Look, above and below us, we're throwing out this frequency. That's what's getting rid of these dense energies, is we're basically shaking them off. Yeah, again, I love these. They're definitely going to become part of the readings. They're definitely going to be part of my scrying. I love that I'm drawn to the different colors, the different shapes. I see different things in them when I look at them in different ways. Yeah. Okay, so let's get into this. These dense energies that are breaking up. We have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, it feels slow, doesn't it? I feel like some of us feel like we were starting to get somewhere. We have the Ten of Swords and the King of Wands. Some of us were feeling pretty good about ourselves there, right? We were feeling like we were starting to come out of something. We were feeling like we were onto something new. We were heading in the right direction. And boom, here comes this little poof of somebody else's karmic issues that they want to throw at us. And it seems like it slows us down. We got this Ten of Swords here. They may have been talking shit. They may have been, um, I'm hearing word warfare. They may have been throwing out slanderous comments. They may have been telling lies, trying to make you out to be the bad person whenever it was them all along that was, producing the illusion. It was them all along that was bringing all this cloudiness, this haziness in. They were trying to keep somebody, I just heard, on their side. They were trying to keep people on their side. Maybe they view you as a threat. Maybe they're not comfortable with your light. And then we have the King of Wands here. This is somebody who knows their power. I mean, we might lose sight of it every now and then, right? Our magic might get a little mixed up in there, and we might, they might be able to trigger some kind of doubt in us or something. But then it doesn't take long before we come out of that. It doesn't take long before we see through it, because of your awareness, because of your frequency. We don't stay. I just heard we don't stay swimming in their cesspool. That's what I just heard. We don't stay where they're trying to put us, okay? So, knowing your power, knowing your worth, not being afraid to take action. This is somebody who is finally learning to bring it, no matter who believes, no matter who likes it. Like, this is someone who's truly being themselves. They're being authentic. They're being true. We have the Two of Swords here with the Queen of Pentacles. So this is telling me this was not easy for somebody. Somebody really had to look at their shadows. Somebody really had to um, reevaluate their beliefs. They had to reconfigure why they felt the way they felt, why these energies were able to trigger them so easily. Ah, the Strength card. That's right. and the Six of Wands. Beautiful. So we have the Strength card and the Six of Wands showing up here. This is, again, about being certain about who you are. And once you realize that they don't have that kind of effect on you, look at that. Look at that Strength card, right? They're trying to get you to where you feel like you need to stick up for yourself. They're trying to gaslight you into lashing out, right? Because then they can play victim. Then they can be like, that person said, this person said, this person said, and then it's, keeps them being the victim, keeps everyone trying to defend them. But you didn't fall for it this time. This time you felt it, you recognized it, and you stood your own. You stood in your own power. You pulled your own energy in. You didn't let them, you didn't feed, you didn't feed their demons, is what I just heard. Sometimes my guides are just, you didn't feed their demons, right? And now you're in the Six of Wands energy. This is an energy of victory. This is an energy of moving forward. This is riding off on your own way, right? You don't need those people. You don't need those illusions. You don't need that bull crap. You don't need any of that. And you know it. And you know it. I also feel like this situation may have happened in a circle that you frequent, maybe work, maybe um, school, maybe I'm getting some kind of group that you have to participate in, is what I'm getting. This is not people that are in your inner circle that you consider to be friends. This is people who you have to deal with. Now I got the King of Swords out here, about watching your words, knowing how to use your words, knowing when to fight, when to pull back, when not to fight. And the Hermit, nice. We have the Hermit out here, about shining your own light, lighting your own path. Again, knowing who you are, not being afraid to retreat, not because of the illusion that they're casting. You're not retreating from that illusion. You're actually removing yourself from the situation. And there is strength in removing your presence from something. That is not weak. That is not running. You have the right to remove your energy from a situation, to no longer take place, to no longer participate in that. I'm also hearing something again about words spoken. He has a raven in this lantern. This is not a light, this is a raven in there. So it's making me think of air. It's making me feel our thoughts in words. I feel like we pulled in, somebody here pulled their energy in, held it real close to them, bit their tongue, kept their opinions to themselves, and essentially just let this energy play out, right? They just let it play out. They were like, whatever. What I mean, I'm not feeling anyone was defensive here. You didn't let them get you to the point where you felt that you had to defend yourself. You didn't let them get it to the point where you felt like you were backed in a corner. You were just like, just removed your presence from the situation, and you were like, whatever, do you? Yeah, Seven of Swords. Yeah, Seven of Swords. Deception, lies, being gaslighted. Then we have the Three of Swords. Wow. Whoever this person was, or these people, this group of people, whatever, They were really coming at you hard. And I'm seeing it right here with the King of Swords. Again, knowing when to put the sword down, knowing that you don't have to fight. Right after the King of Swords, we have all of this, all these lies, all this deceit, all of this sneaky energy, and then we have the Three of Swords here. They didn't get what they wanted. They thought that they were going to throw you to the wolves. They thought that this illusion that they cast was going to have a negative effect on you, and it didn't. And now they're sitting in it and they don't know why. Something about them was exposed during this. And that's a lot of these energies right now. There's a lot of confusion. There's a lot of hurt in the collective. Like I said, these people they're being exposed for who they truly are. And they haven't looked at themselves in so long. They've been so busy projecting their shortcomings on other people that they haven't taken a second to heal themselves. So they just, right now, they're being forced to look at some of the things that they've done. Something was illuminated for them that they were not ready for. And it's because you finally are certain. You finally know something. We have this King of Wands and this King of Swords here. You know who you are. You're confident. And I just heard you don't feel confident, but you are confident. You, in your soul, you're confident. In your soul, you know what you needed to do. You knew you needed to pull inside. You knew you needed to not shut down, but protect yourself. You knew this was not an energy or a story that you wanted associated with or you wanted to take part in. So you just pulled your energy back, and people felt that shit. People felt that. They felt your withdrawal, almost like you unplugged their power cord. I heard you unplugged their power cord. Maybe they were feeding off of you. Maybe they need you mad because whenever you're mad, your energy just scatters all over the place. It's easier for them to, harvest that. We got the Four of Wands here, which is great. Four of Wands, the Six of Wands. This is you being stable. This is you starting to build something. This is you coming into your own. They couldn't they couldn't knock you off your throne. I just heard they couldn't knock you down. Usually these energies over here are the kind of energies that are always trying to knock people down to make themselves feel better, and they couldn't knock you down. They didn't have that effect. They're missing your light, they're missing your energy, and you're not missing them at all. You're like, you know, they get nothing from you. I just heard they get nothing. That's right, they get nothing. They don't get your time, they don't get your attention, they don't get your energy, they don't get your attention, they get nothing. We have the Ace of Wands here, making big moves, moving forward, bringing your passions. I don't know how they want me to say this. Bringing your passions and your power into the 3D realm. Now we have the Queen of Swords. This is a very cold energy. And I don't mean cold in a bad way. I mean, this is an energy that is very quick to cut out toxic people, very quick to the discernment of the Queen of Swords is crazy. The Queen of Swords energy sees through the bull crap. They see through the illusions. They cut through the illusions. They spot it very quickly. And I feel like that is exactly what happened here for you. You seen what was happening. You seen what they were trying to do. You pulled inside, like almost like hunkered down and let the storm pass, you know? And I don't, again, not out of fear, but because of the work that you've done and your awareness of self, you were like, this is nowhere, this is not where I want to be right now. And you just closed off, pulled their power cord, and let it all play out. We have the Eight of Wands coming out, a lot of messages coming in. Right now, you're being heavily guided, you're being heavily watched. Your guides, their guides, all seen what just went down and they're not having it. They're like flipping the script on these people. You know, you have fresh new energy coming into you, and they are being forced to sit in what they created. They're being forced to try to make sense out of what's happening now that the dust is settling, that whole ruckus that they kicked up, the whole everything they started, they tried to start, came crushing back down on them, and it did not turn out the way they wanted. So now they're over there flailing around trying to figure out what to do, how to save themselves, and you're just sitting here like, nice try, bitch. Sorry, that's what I got. Nice try, bitch. Okay, give me one more card and I'm gonna get out of here. Six of Cups, the card of reflection and projection. Again, pointing out that the lack of work that these people have done is the illusions that they cast, the stories they try to spin around you, the whole don't like them like me, the whole jealousy, the ego, the all of that. And this is someone who knows who they are. They're going to continue to work on themselves. They're going to continue to walk their own path, do their own journey. Like energies like this don't affect you anymore. They don't. Like I said, nice try, bitch. And then I have the Tower card. And then it all falls down. And you're just going to sit back and let it. This is part of their awakening. They had to come up against an energy like you because the way you handled it, you're the lightning up here. You're the one bringing the illumination. The way you handled it is making them see their own reflection, and they hate that. They hate that. Even they don't like who they are, and you're making them take a good hard look at it. Okay, this one's getting long. I'm going to leave it right here. Like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube things, trying to get the subscribers up so we can move forward in this journey that we're on. See you next time.